let's talk a little bit about your game. I see the tags you gone out to play.
Yeah.
Good.
I went
good.
to Greyhawk a couple of times.
So what are you shooting?
I kept track on the front 9 the first time and the back 9 the second time. I didn't put a whole 18 together, but
No.
it was 43 and then 44.
Okay, so that's pretty consistent. So if you played 18 holes, you're around, under 90,
Yeah.
88, 85 is probably a good round.
Yeah.
I think we could get into the high 70s
Yeah.
pretty quick. So any problems that you noticed?
I feel a little flippy.
Okay.
So I like my weight on my front foot like you're talking about, but
Okay.
I feel like when I get to the point where I should just keep rotating,
Yep.
I want to just flip my hands through.
Yeah.
And it creates some very inconsistent
Yeah. So
contact.
why don't I have you warm up, just hit some balls, and then
Okay.
let's get to like an 8-iron,
Okay.
and then we'll go ahead and go on it. So,
Okay.
but at least you remember some good things, staying more on your front side.
Yeah. And I tried to not get too glidey.
Yeah. So, as far as like that weight shift, it's really about the level of player you are or the level of ball striker you are. If you're a long drive guy and you're trying to hit the ball, 4 football fields, 400 yards, you're going to move a lot of that lateral shift and time that.
Yeah.
So you need that mass with the club head speed, but we're not trying for that, and
Right.
that's why you have plenty of power and momentum just by staying on the front side.
Yeah.
So you will see shifting and stuff on TV, and you'll see it on video, but what's happening is really not what's happening. A lot of the best players are already shifted already,
Right.
and so I'm just shortcutted it for 90% of golfers that don't play for a living.
Right.
You're just better off staying over there.
Yeah.
And there is a little shift, it's just you don't realize it.
Right.
But your intention is there so that you don't bottom out way behind the ball, because you can either hit behind and thin and all that.
Yeah.
So now your error is probably more left. Is that what you're saying? From the flip?
It's both.
Okay.
Yeah, it's both.
Okay.
When I really try to exaggerate staying through it and not flipping, it'll go left. But I feel like when I get flippy, it goes right.
Okay. So yeah, definitely you can get a two-way miss. Some people overdo one or the other and they get one. But yes, from that flip move, you can get both. So we'll address that. I'll have you hit some balls.
Okay.
What club is that?
This is a pitching wedge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially the shorter clubs, you definitely stay probably the most over there as the
This
clubs
way.
are shorter.
Yeah.
Because that's more precision, right? Not distance.
Right.
How far you hit that normally?
I always just assume this is going to go 155.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I really don't know my yardages though.
Well, the other thing is you got to play more too in order to really get that. I don't know if you're
Yeah.
getting out to play much, but
Not. It's been like once a week for the past 3 weeks probably.
yeah, and then just kind of write down like what they go. But they're so fluctuating right now. I understand why you don't
Yeah.
have a memory, because there could be a 20-yard difference or a 10-yard difference.
Right.
So we have to at least narrow the ballpark. So
Right.
okay, let's have you hit that. I like your thought, staying left.
It's like I feel like I didn't really compress that one,
Okay.
but it's
So
obviously shorter club is easier to.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about these mats is that you can't go down enough, obviously, so they're going to be a little thin.
Yeah.
Go ahead and hit some there.
Okay.
Yeah, that was better.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get set up again. One of the things is that go ahead and set up, and you could get a little bit wider, and then you could flare your feet out. Yeah, just like what you did there. And go ahead and make some swings like that. It's going to take a little bit to get used to. Especially just the left one for sure.
Yeah, I feel like having the left one open definitely helps my hips get through.
Yeah, see, there was really the big thing there. So go ahead and get set up again. Do your old one. Do your old one where it's in, and you can see as you go ahead and follow through, feel how you can't turn,
Yeah.
and then turn that left foot out, and then go ahead and do that. Okay. So part of that you said earlier about that flipping part.
Yeah.
So when we get right to here, we want to try, on camera, we see the hands are ahead.
Right.
But
yeah.
part of that, how to get the hands ahead is the hips and the body have to pivot to get there. So if this gets stuck and I can't get there, it's not going to
That's
stop.
exactly what I feel. Like I feel like this stops, and so this has to catch up.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just need this to keep going.
Yeah, and so then you'll see like you'll start noticing like on TV the guys at a dress, because who looks at their feet,
Right.
Only crazy teachers like me.
Right.
But that's huge to allow also control of the length of your backswing, so how far back you go and stuff. So you'll start seeing big hitters like Dustin and those guys. They all start like that at address. Now the guys that don't start like that, what'll happen is when you see them finish, they're over here, because otherwise they would just tear all of this to clear to hit this beautiful shot.
Right.
But you just felt you couldn't even get there.
Yeah.
So they do that move, or they
open it
do
up.
one of that move on the follow through.
That's pretty complex. I
Yeah.
feel like I wouldn't be able to do that.
Well,
It's a lot of movement, right?
not only that, you have to hit a lot of balls.
Yeah.
So how about just flare it out on a dress?
leave
It
it
feels
there.
weird,
Yeah.
but that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 10, 15 degrees, and then that should start helping you getting your hands ahead. There, see how much easier that is?
Yeah.
Right? There you go. Okay, so we'll just play with that to get comfortable, because that's a new move getting there.
Yeah. Felt like I exaggerated that one. It felt okay.
Yeah, yeah. And also it'd just be a lot easier on your joints.
Yeah.
It's almost like throwing a ball. You got to get out of there so you can get that right side through.
It's actually funny you bring that up, because when I pitch, I land really open with that hip.
Imagine it not open.
Yeah.
I mean, right field.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you have to open.
yeah.
Thin.
So that one there, just the club, it was thin,
Yeah.
right? So the only way that we can hit a thin shot is the club was starting to go up. Okay, so when you make a practice swing, go ahead and make a couple practice swings and feel like you're brushing the grass. And then feel that brush better and better. And then that brush has to be in front of the ball as you're doing it. And then practice that till you can get that feel. Start at address. Nope, away, just
Okay.
practice, yeah. And then get that brush in front. All right, tells you something's up if we can't,
Yeah,
right?
I'm lifting it.
Yeah, go ahead, you can still do it. There it is. That's it. That's a good feel for you to hit this shot with. All right, let's get to the lesson. I'm gonna have you hit some eights. So this is perfect for for a baseball player. So many times I hear the comment about baseball and how it interferes with golf, and there's so much in baseball and so much in golf that's very much like baseball if you just understood it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first was the posture. A lot of people say they have this baseball swing, and it's okay to have that baseball swing. If you were thinking T-ball, it's level like here. All we're doing in golf is down there. So what we have to do first is bend from our hips down there, and so now the baseball swing is down there as opposed to just sitting there.
Right.
So all you're doing is the first posture is bowing down like a baseball, but down here, and then staying on the left side to start with. Let's try that. And to get the, so we're taking baseball to golf. Because, I mean, really, when you were missing the ball, it was like, what, a half an inch?
Yeah.
But that lowering that baseball swing down, instantly, you were able to get down there.
Right.
So you just can't get into golf just sitting, otherwise it just makes a very horizontal swing.
Right.
So in golf, we really have to get that baseball to golf, and it's the bend from the hips. Okay?
Hinge.
There you go, and then you're always set. So really, baseball swing is very much like golf. We just got to get into the golf posture from baseball. That's bending from the hips. Okay.
That's
Now
when I
this,
get quick.
what's that?
That's when I get quick, I think.
Yeah, we can still catch a little bit thin. So go ahead and get set up again. Now, as you get set up, what I want you to imagine, we're going to play we're going to do a little baseball. Forward is over there, the target, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that would be back. There's an up, and there's a down. And there's an out, and then there's an in.
Right.
Okay. So when we're set up in the golf swing, we're set up at a tilt like this. Okay. So go ahead and get set up when you're tilted. So go to the top of your swing. When you're swinging down, you're actually, because of the tilt of the angle, we're actually swinging to first base.
Okay.
Okay. So where the problem lies is, get up there again, is we start swinging towards the pitcher because we want the ball to go straight.
Right.
So now go towards the pitcher, and you end up breaking down your left wrist. And what ends up happening is we can't release.
Right.
So the reason we can't get down to the ball is we just need the wrist to get all the way down to the ball. And that's because you constantly cut it off to go towards the pitcher, which is where you want it to go, right? So make a couple practice swings. And now when you swing on the down, you're swinging towards first base, right? Okay, and that should get rid of some of the flippiness,
That makes sense. Yeah.
okay? Because we want to get here, you know, we can't picture the circle. You can now,
Right.
because you can see it here, right? So this would be at the pitcher. So now this is first base, and then they go, oh, I gotta go, and then that's where that breaks down.
Yeah.
So then we don't, what we call unhinge the wrist completely. Okay, so make the practice swing, swinging it out to first base, and let it, there you go, and let it release.
That feels a lot better. That's more
Feels
with my
better.
body instead of getting here and trying to straighten it out.
Correct.
Yeah.
So let's hit a couple, just feeling that. And so you're swinging, you're setting up to the pitcher, which is your target, and you're swinging out towards first base. But see how much more bottom we got. Okay.
That's the best contact I've made.
Okay, perfect. Let's try that first. So that's a different image, isn't it, altogether? Because we all want the ball to go straight. The problem is we're not standing on a vertical Ferris wheel.
Right.
This circle is not vertical.
It's a little
It's
better.
all about intent. It's a lot better. Come on, that felt so good.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to have you hit a couple, and then I'll tell you the side effect from that, and we'll fix that too, okay?
Okay. Even a little bit of draw to that one. That feels
Yeah,
good.
yeah, keep doing it. More importantly is it's feeling more free,
Right.
because you're fighting. Everybody's fighting the swing.
I feel like I
down.
can move freely when I work that way. But if I try to work that way, it's not.
Because How many of us are standing on top of the ball?
On top of the ball. Not
Nobody.
right on it.
So what I'm saying is, I would have to be standing on top of the ball to go at the pitcher.
Oh, yeah.
So because I'm
standing
over
back here.
here, I'm going out that way.
Right.
So there's always this out part of the swing that they're missing.
Yeah.
There's no forward.
Right.
And you have to think for a moment from down there. It's like the first thing you want to do is hit forward.
Right.
And that's why everybody slices.
Right.
So the better golfer may not do it yet. They might do it right here and then go forward.
Right.
But that's still not going to first.
Right.
So that's the secret to the downswing once you set up properly.
That's a really good mental image.
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
helpful.
See, now it goes then at the pitcher.
It's amazing how it goes straight. I feel like it should go that way.
So this is called ball flight laws. Okay, we're just teaching by
Takes a lot
swing
of trust.
plane and path.
Takes a lot of trust too
Yes.
to feel like it's not going to go that way.
Yes.
And then you get used to it.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do have to hit a few and get that side effect and get the sensation, and you're like, I know what's going on in your brain.
Yeah.
How can I jump in there and say, why is the human, not the level of the golfer, why is it that they constantly want to break down? They break down here, they break down here, they break down here, they break down.
Right.
And that's because they're not visualizing it. And I found out intention plays a bigger role.
Right.
By knowing what your intention is, I can configure all your joints to get ready to do that. And that's way more than what I can do. But if I can give you an image to start with, starting even with the left foot, the clearing, the grip, all of these are very easy to do, so you can focus on really swinging. So let's keep doing that.
Okay.
And just get your brain to believe that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Plenty of mat, plenty of mat.
I
And this
haven't-
is why I have the microphone today, is so that you can say it's amazing and not me say that it was amazing.
I mishit that one, but it's still good flight.
Always going to
Yeah.
be still better than, that breaking down that can get the two-way miss. 'Cause
Yeah.
You can go left, you can go right. So then the problem is now, where do I aim?
Right.
You don't know what's going to come out.
Right.
Whereas this here, when you start figuring it out, you'll be able to feel like, if there were glass houses on the right, you won't care after a while.
Right.
Because you've seen the pitch so many times ahead of time,
Mhm.
you're not afraid to do it. So that's what we just need to do, is keep hitting and trusting that that's real.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
pretty.
Yeah, and it's more consistent, like the flight of it is. Like, you're not afraid of one or the other. You're like, this is gonna go to the pitcher.
Right. I'm gonna see if I can adjust my sights that way a little bit.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. That's nice. That's good.
Yeah, see
Yeah.
now, so when we talk about alignment, that has to do with what you're hitting too, because since you knew you could do that, you're like, hey, I could just aim a little right.
Right.
But before that, you probably couldn't
Right.
figure that out. So this is awesome,
Yeah,
because
this
now
is-
you know.
Now I feel like I could hit it to where the pin is, instead of just aiming. I mean, I would give myself like a 30-yard buffer area and aim in the middle of that.
So then that'll be our next lessons, will be on-course strategies, because that's not a good idea. You should pick larger targets.
Right.
One of the things that people don't realize is, let's say 150 yards on the PGA Tour. This is the 1% now.
Yeah.
Their average proximity is what? What do you think? From 150 yards, what would you hit from 150 yards?
I would hit a pitching wedge.
Okay,
Um,
but you're on tour now with a pitching wedge. What's your average proximity?
for tour players, I would say what do we think it is? 20 feet within the pin?
Yeah, I was going to say 23. But so if that's 23 with the tour player, and it just continues as you get longer in the club, so you definitely want to play for the fat parts of the green.
Right.
And you want to be putting towards the pin.
Right.
This idea of being tighter, that's the first thing you get from this, but this is so you can hit more greens.
Right.
That's the only strategy here. Our first lesson is get control of your swing so you can hit more greens.
Right.
Because right now you're not hitting enough greens,
Right.
and that's why the scores are so high.
Right.
When you start hitting greens, then you'll get to the next step, and you'll be like, I could go tighter. Just like here, you're like, I don't know where this ball is going to go. So then if I said, where are you going to aim it?
Yeah.
You'd say, I don't know.
Yeah.
But now that you know where it's going, you're like, I can aim it a little right of whatever I want, right?
Right.
And then once you hit more greens versus not hitting greens, then you can get a little bit closer. But always know that it's not going to be flag hunting until you really get your wedges in your hand.
Right.
And that's the other part. There's a lot of really good ball strikers, and that's their problem. Is they're such a good ball striker, they're going too much after pins and
Yeah.
then missing the cut.
Yeah.
And they didn't need to, and they don't realize the best ball strikers are not doing that.
Right.
So that's going to be our next lesson of
Yeah.
how to score. All right.
Go ahead and take that one forward. I'm going to take the grass. Which one? I just want to hit a little bit of the edge.
Yeah,
I
I've
hope it's
never-
all being taped because I'm going to be able to slow these down and really be able to see you coming in there just with a nice release. I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, I was just going to say I've never hit it this consistently. I'm going to go this way.
So be careful like how much you go to the right, because then what's happening is, remember our out to the right?
Yeah.
From our target now, when we start, we're already to the right. When we start aiming more right, then what we have is a
Shifts.
mathematical problem
Yeah.
where we have more path than the club face,
Right.
and then it curves too much.
Right.
So it a little bit goes a long way. You've seen that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
But
getting
now you
greedy
know how you could go around a tree.
Yeah.
Imagine a tree. Okay, so there's the tree. Get to the right of the tree, and then you just swing to the right of that tree.
More
Go
that way.
ahead. I'm teaching you how to play around obstacles. You've never been able to do that on command.
No.
But actually, you've always had that, because I didn't teach it to you. But this is what I mean about a lot of times our intentions makes our swing, our whole career.
Right.
But the teacher has to know way into the future the swing, and
Right.
then come back and say, oh, how could I make it simpler so they can do these things?
Right.
So be careful how much you aim to the right. You saw you can get it around a tree.
Yeah.
To start with, you could pretty much aim at your target and maybe swing a little right just to try to hit straighter shots.
Right.
Just remember, more curvature is more difficult to control.
Okay, yeah.
So then it lands and it rolls off. It's the same thing as a slice that lands on the
It's true.
green and
'Cause
goes off.
more spin and it'll,
So the magic really is less curve.
yeah.
But you still got to learn how to curve it first.
Right.
And that's what you were just able to do. Let's just start with at the pitcher,
Yeah.
and then swing to the right and just keep getting comfortable having it come back towards the pitcher, and then you won't have to aim
Adjust.
so far to the right.
Yeah. Yeah, I exaggerated that one.
Okay?
Still good though.
So
Alright.
then, okay, so then what's happening is this is a little bit coming in there like that. Or actually, you're going to the left, right? So we got to make sure that we get this out, clear our left side, and that'll keep it from going more left.
Okay.
So if
clear
you,
it a little
yeah,
more.
if you over clear, let's say the body, it's called a block. So I'm kind of blocking it from going around. So you have to kind of feel that, just like in your release, where it is in that.
Yeah.
So you can play with that. Go ahead and hit that. And in this case, when you come through impact, just feel like you're rotating a little bit more
More. Okay.
and see what that does as you're swinging out too. All right. So I'm going to stand behind you and see where you're aiming first. Okay.
That one was better.
Yeah.
Still a little left.
Yes. Now that one, I stood behind you, and what happened is the ball actually started too much to at the pitcher, so it should be starting at the pitcher and then it'll curve back.
Okay, so start it more that way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. See that? And you have to fight that because there's forces and things going on in your swing during everybody's swing that people are not thinking about. You know, like this club head is attached to an end, so we got a lot of rotation that's coming through.
Yeah.
You got to figure that timing out. Before, you had no idea and it slapped around. Now it's coming around so fast, and it should be because it's pivoting around a point there, it's pivoting around these. So you got to make sure that you're going out that way, yeah, because it's going to want to always come just shutting and closing. All those forces want to go there.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. Keep doing that. That's
good.
awesome.
I'm just happy with the sound of it. I've never hit it this. I mean, I don't even feel it when I hit it. A lot of times it'll sting my hands because I'm hitting it so thin or something.
And then what you do is you get afraid to hit the damn ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
Keep it up. We're going to do a whole bucket of this. Now we just need reps, just like any other training.
Yeah.
You know what to do, and pick your routine, and then just keep doing them.
Oh. So when that happens, I'm not
Yeah,
trusting
just a
it all the
little.
way.
Yeah, just either not enough right, you're not trusting it, but you know what? The errors are never going to be exact.
Yeah.
So what you're looking for is like this. So let's say that your target is X. You're going to have a circumference of X as you hit. You'll never be hitting. I guess the best explanation is like, don't think of a rifle. You're going to end up with like a shotgun pattern.
Right.
Imagine them all dropped, where would they be? Just in that circle is all you're looking for. So
Right.
don't get too, you'll pull a couple, you're there, but as long as it's around the proximity, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. It's got
How
the
is that?
draw. Every
Okay.
time I draw it, it just starts left of the target.
Okay, let's go ahead and get set for a sec.
Okay.
And then focus on the follow through here.
Yeah, I think that's where it's going wrong.
Yeah. So go ahead and you know, the first base, maybe a little less of it.
Okay.
Maybe we got, you know, usually the curvature comes from path.
Right.
And the start direction is from the face. So the first question is, where did the ball start? If the ball started left of your target, then the first fix is getting it out to the right. Because then if we add any path to that, you're going to overhook that.
Okay.
So first thing is to get it started over there. Then we can start adding more first base.
Right.
Okay?
So with the club face,
Yeah, so let's
little
just
more open.
yeah, focus less on first base, maybe a little bit towards the pitcher
Okay.
back.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Let's just keep doing it. I'm going to take a tape.
Okay.
After reviewing the swing, I noticed his hips and chest needed to be more open at impact to keep the club face from closing so quickly.
The big change was that you were having the intention of swinging out to first base, which is beautiful. You saw how easier, freer, and all that. Then as you're doing that, the ball started to go left. I had to find out why the ball goes left, and I started to see more of a closed face than the path. Usually, because you can still hook the ball with an open face,
Right.
because you have a ton of path. In your case, that's not it. Go ahead and get set up. What's happening is get up to the top and get into impact. go into impact, stop right there, see? And right here, we need the belt buckle out towards the target. And so when the belt buckle goes out towards the target, go ahead. You see what that did to the face?
Yeah, it stays back.
Okay,
Okay.
there you go.
Okay. So just really open
Yeah,
my
it's,
hips.
yeah, go ahead and finish, I guess, with the belt buckle, right?
Okay.
So you're doing all the same swings. See that? And you're just allowing the body to pivot. And we saw on video how stalled we were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flippy.
Yeah.
So just keep it going.
Yeah. So that's a great image to make a practice swing, to feel like your belt buckle when you finish. There you go.
There it is.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, something was breaking down. So it always is going to boil down to face and path, no matter what the shape of someone's swing is. That's the mathematical ball flight laws.
Right.
And so in your case, you just stalled, which everybody does. So
Ah.
it's all right. You just did it early. That's all right.
Yeah.
You'll find where that is. So do a couple practice swings
Okay.
where you're just adding swing into first and belt buckle. There you go. Yeah, and you could do it, you know, in slower speeds just to feel it, and
Yeah.
then build your way up until you're comfortable.
I need to feel that.
There you go. So now you know, like when you know, if you go too far to the right, then you can overdo the body turn.
Right.
And so then you got to be aware of that. So all we're doing is just adding a pinch of salt
Yeah.
that at impact that you're not here, that at impact you're here. Feel like your chest is open a little bit more, or the hips, whatever helps you feel that. There you go.
That was the best one of the day.
Yeah.
That one was good.
Keep doing that one. Memorize that one. That was perfect. At least you know the ingredients now.
Yeah. I think that really clicked chest open too.
Yep, yep. That's,
Thank
and you notice what I'm doing back here is I'm trying to get verbally more than anything,
Yeah.
jumping in, because
Yeah.
I'm testing to see if we can't actually tap all of that right out of you and
Right.
not through a gazillion drills.
Right.
Images, right pictures.
Right.
Because the feels, these are the proper feels for you
Right.
to, you can take out and play with.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect, perfect. I'd say a little bit more on your lead foot
Okay.
to start with, and then kind of keep it there.
Yeah, that
Just
one
gets,
felt
yeah, just gets a little bit more. If you can picture the swing as a circle, you know, the bottom of the circle is the low point where it gets compressed. So if we can move forward, we're going to be hitting down on the ball.
good. Right.
If we're back here,
You can hit up on it.
hit up or the fat shot.
Yeah.
So that's why we do a little cheat sheet by starting a little bit more
Forward.
there. Yeah. So like a 60-40 and then try to stay there. You know, you just don't need a lot of movements. your force and speed comes from the height of your body, the length of your clubs. You know, your pitching wedge isn't a standard pitching wedge length.
Right.
So it's probably like somebody's 9 iron or
Right.
even an 8 iron for somebody if they're a half-inch short.
Right.
So you just need to stay stable, hit it solid, and know what direction you're swinging it. And I think you'll be right there. And of course, no pin hunting yet.
Yeah. Just the green.
Yeah. Greens and then wedges are probably the only ones you can be more aggressive with.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that away. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was good.
Golf acoustics, right? That sound was that just compressed. Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight too. It was where
Yeah.
I was aiming.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
Miss hit, but still straight.
You're allowed misses. You're allowed misses. Okay, well, I'll have you hit a couple more, and then I'll have you hit a driver just to put some of those in there.
Okay. So when that one happens, that's because I didn't open my hips and chest enough. The flippy one that goes that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I do is I work the problem backwards, right? So I take the flight, the air, and I come back here, and the face was obviously pointing that way.
Right.
Why that is different for each of us.
Right.
And in your case, you just kind of stalled,
Right.
which did that. For others, they're actually trying to hit to the pitcher, so they go like
Yeah.
that. And they can't do anything but stall, because when they do that, the body goes the other way.
Yeah.
So, you know, you need to just know what causes it for you and then find those feels. And
Yeah.
you were saying that or whatever that was. You're saying chest open or something?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll exaggerate that on this one.
Okay. And a little thinny, right?
Yeah.
So usually when I hear thin, I usually hear fear. Just
Like
not
bailed
letting
out.
it all the way out.
Yeah.
Letting it go to first. And then trust that if you open up, it won't hook on you.
Yeah. Okay.
Little bit of that, just a little, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, this is all one day too. I mean, just imagine putting a year's worth of that intention and knowing that when you hook it, that you got to do that, you'll figure it out. You'll know how much to do and how little, and
Right.
find that balance to be able to just every time.
Hit one more with this.
Sure. That's what I'm
that's
talking
perfect.
about. That's what I'm
That was
talking
perfect.
about. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so let's try a couple of drivers just for some pointers. There you go. Then you're just kind of putting the same swing on it.
Same as the irons
Yeah.
going that way.
Correct.
Okay.
That hooked a lot, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you see the longer the club, the more it goes towards first base, whether you like it or not. So you need to, let's go up farther
Okay.
away from this. So just think straight for now.
Okay.
And then you can start, you know, because you can always work more right anytime you want. I know you can.
Right. And still feeling this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say don't add that until it hooks on you too much.
Okay.
Now, right now, that wasn't really a hook. That was just a dead shut face. There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hit the ground first.
Okay.
I got one here.
All right. Okay, a little bit too far forward in your stance.
Okay.
There you go. Did you see that? I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Really good. Yeah.
Good. And so that was also, here's the reason for that, okay? Because when we're making, remember our circle?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody envisions a vertical circle.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Ferris wheel. Instead, it's like this, right? So it's going out there. So the other front part is over here. So the more I put the ball forward in my stance, so by the time you hit that, it was already shot.
Yeah.
So it don't matter what swing you put on there, she was going left.
Right.
So ball play position has a huge effect on the face. So that's why that changed it instantly by not having it so shut so quickly on you.
Thanks.
Awesome. There we go. Fixed.
Yeah, that felt good. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Doesn't look too flippy from over there.
You know
With
the
the
flippy,
driver.
you know the flippy part? It doesn't matter what that part. Flippy, people get mad about flippy because it went left.
Right.
Did you go left?
No.
So
we're
unless you
good.
go left, flippy in general, everybody flips.
Right. You're gonna turn.
We
over.
have we have high tech equipment now that has seen in 3D, 4D all swings when they come through here. We get this lead rest. The club, the shaft goes like this, and then it bends and goes. Now when she rebounds and goes into here, okay, it goes into a lead bend. It's flying. To think you can beat that
Right.
is so difficult. What
Right.
you want to do is just try to release properly and guide that in the right way. But as far as like a flip, really a flip is a ton of energy. You're flipping it out to first.
Right.
Everybody's flipping towards the pitcher.
Right.
So a flip is not really bad. It's misunderstanding the real flip. But if I'm going out towards first base, I'm gonna let everything go. I'm not gonna hold anything on
Right.
so that it comes around. Okay?
So it's the direction of the flip.
Yes, 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 yes.
Might have just been quick on that one.
Yeah. Let's widen up your stance a little bit. Yeah, there you go. So that's another thing. So the two things that I see for your driver is your ball position, obviously why it was shutting on you.
Right.
And then work on trying to get a little bit wider and wider and wider.
Okay.
If I put you in Rory McIlroy's stance, and he's smaller than you,
Yeah.
right? You wouldn't believe it.
He's wide.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. You'd be like,
Yeah, I don't know
right,
why
there
I
was,
stand
there
so
was
narrow.
what's that?
I don't know why I stand so narrow because I
Well, it's much easier to feel balanced, when you feel like that. Because a lot of people say, oh, stay in balance, don't swing out of balance. I mean, yes and no. In this case, we really need to hit some distance, right? Because
Yeah.
if you want just a balanced swing, 200 yards, you can just grab one of your other clubs.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to hit this, so I'm putting you more into a power position. So the ball position is so that you're not afraid. Because if you cut it forward and you kept hitting, and it hooked on you, what would you start fearing to swing?
Yeah. You wouldn't want to
But
hit
now it's over here, you're like, I can hit it really hard, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't have that fear. The next thing is I'm going to widen you out so that when you're in here, you've had this fear you can't swing fast. when you're here, you're going to feel like you can really swing, okay? So just those two things.
I can definitely rotate better from there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just want to be in a grid, you know? Even if it pulls a little, pushes a little, you just want to be in that fairway
Yeah.
and be able to swing away. But I think those two things, and then of course work your swing with the 8-iron. Yeah, and because of the ball position and the driver, a lot of your big power hitters really hit more of a straighter to a little fade,
Yeah.
just because of the ball position and the ball flight laws. To hit that draw, you really have to stay patient in here and have it come around. But then you got the ball position way over here. You got to bring it around. So a lot of them have just said, hey, I'm going to take that left side,
Yeah.
put that ball where I know I can, and just put my normal swing on it and just hit it hard and know that it's going to bleed a little bit.
Take a little bit of
Yeah,
fade.
so you can still set up straight and a little draw, but know that if you get a little bit of a fade, not the end of the world,
Yeah.
okay?
That felt beautiful. Thank you for that.
That was awesome.
That was incredible.
Well, I mean, so yeah, like just your feedback with the irons, what did you feel better with, or what's your takeaway that you can?
The contact got way better immediately.
Yeah,
And then once we fixed the direction, I think the direction came from opening the hips and the chest and trusting the path. And then the direction was perfect.
and that's the hard thing to understand, that the arms are going over there,
Yeah.
and then the body wants to turn over here.
Right.
And so it's kind of blending those two together, and that's where it's difficult. Some people overdo the body thing and then throw this out to in,
Yeah.
and others, the better golfers, go way out right and then hook the ball, and they have problems the other way. So
Yeah.
you figured out a way to blend that by opening up and knowing that the body goes this way and the club kind of goes that way. Somewhere in the middle there is where you're going to be straight.
Yeah.
Awesome,
That
awesome.
felt really good.
So the direction, and then your two-way miss became what?
My two-way miss became a one-way miss. Yeah.
Because you really didn't have a problem with like sending it out to the right. You have a great swing. You have a natural ability. You're right. You know your pitcher. So that right arm in the swing plays such a huge role.
Right.
And when you're throwing that, you want to be throwing it that way instead of coming over all the time, and you don't realize that till I gave you that picture.
Right.
Then it's like, what are you guys doing? So that's the simple lesson.
Yeah.
And then the driver, what did you get from that?
I think the driver was moving the ball back
Yeah.
and then widening the stance. I felt like my rotation was a lot better once I widened my stance that way. And then obviously you don't want to be too far forward because the first one I hit went that straight that way.
Yeah.
So
The other thing, widening it up, I think it gave you more leverage. Like you can
Yeah.
really, I'm a huge fan of the arms and hands because they provide a lot of the club head speed, but also the body is a big part of it. It's just most people overuse the body and not enough of the arms and hands. In your case, you have so much arms and hands speed, hello pitcher,
yeah.
that I need to add some of that body to catch up with you, and
Right.
it doesn't overtake the whole swing.
Right. Yeah, it was too handsy before.
Yeah.
My chest would never open. It would be here and then
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's where you were learning that they go in the two different directions, and it's like, it's down and out in the downswing.
Right.
It's going in two directions. It's going down and out.
Right.
You'll picture that in the car.
Yeah, no, I've got it now. I'm going to get my notebook out when I get home because I need to capture all of that.
Well, I have it, so that's why.
Oh, yeah,
So-
perfect.
All right.
That was beautiful.
Perfect.